Good afternoon, everyone. We're ready to begin our afternoon session. If I can, so we would need to address him right now? Is that what they're asking? Okay. All right. Christopher Pulowski.
Judge, he's approaching. He's here at Maine.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pulowski. You're before the court this afternoon for resisting without violence and trespassing on an occupied structure or conveyance. The court does find probable cause.
Yes, Judge. I'm speaking with Mr. Pulowski. He's a little bit nervous. From what he advised me, this is his first time going through this. He's 43 years old. He lives in Jupiter. He's looking forward to contesting these allegations. The bad thing about it is, Judge, he doesn't have a phone. When he was arrested, his phone is not with him, so he has no one to contact, no one to let him know that he's currently here, incarcerated here in Broward County. So, Judge, from what he advised me, he's going to be coming back to court. He advised me he's not a flight risk. He's going to be asking the court to consider an ROR on these misdemeanor offenses, Judge.
Mr. Pulowski lives in Jupiter?
Jupiter, Florida, correct. He was down here for work purposes. I believe he works for a company called Resource Depot. But unfortunately, he didn't have his phone, so he can't contact anyone, post his bond. He's new to this. I've never done this before. I don't know. He's a little, really nervous, Judge.
I have a probable cause argument if you want to hear it.
I'm sorry?
I have a probable cause argument. I just got here, so I hadn't had a chance to read anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. This is a trespass after warning. This is required that the owner of the property warn him, not just police officers. Police officers don't have unfettered discretion to tell him unless there's an affidavit on file.
Actually, Your Honor, it states on page 2, this location is on the BSO trespass program. To be on that program, the owners give BSO the authority to issue trespass warnings. It also mentions that an employee gave a verbal trespass in the deputy's presence.
Okay. Withdrawn.
Thank you. The court does find probable cause. The only issue is that Mr. Pulowski lives in Jupiter.
He has a valid address, Judge. He can still receive notice. He's coming back, Judge. He has no way of contacting anyone to post his bond. So, Judge, we're asking for an ROR.
State, is it based on your records? Does he have any priors?
I see dated priors out of the state of New York, Judge, okay. Like 2000.
Then, Mr. Pulowski, the court does find probable cause and will ROR you on count 1, and then count 2, court does not have set a bond. Thank you. So we go back to our original order of things. Jada Catherine Moody.
Judge, I've been informed she bonded.
Okay. Court finds probable cause. Adrienne May Hutchkiss.
Correct.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hutchkiss.
Good afternoon.
You're charged with resisting officer without violence. The court does find probable cause. Your Does Ms. Hutchkiss have any priors?
Nothing local. If she wants to resolve it, the officer withhold. If she doesn't, then I have no objection to an ROR.
Ms. Hutchkiss, you have an opportunity, if you wish, it's your decision. If you want to resolve the case today, The offer is a withhold adjudication and court costs. You don't have to do that if that's not what you want to do. So, do you wish to resolve the case or no? That's okay. You don't have to make a decision.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's okay. You don't have to make a decision. The court does find probable cause and will ROR you on this count.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hutch, yes.
Thank you.
Karen Gonzalez.
No problem. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, you're before the court this afternoon on possession of cannabis 20 grams or less, and count 2, possession of a controlled substance without prescription.
Correct.
The court does find probable cause, Ms. Gonzalez.
Can you post bond as currently set, Ms. Gonzalez? 100 to a bondsman, it appears. Oh. Ms. Gonzalez, can someone post $100 to a bondsman for you?
Yeah.
Great.
I just
That's
need
all,
to make
that's
a
all we need to
phone
know.
call.
You need to make a phone call?
I haven't been able to make a phone call, sir.
Okay, but you know the numbers and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, your bond, as to count 1, the court will not impose a bond, and count 2, it's $1,000. Thank you.
If she can give me a call, deputy.
Bethany Tucker,
Okay.
She bonded, Judge.
she bonded, thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Clerk. I didn't see it there. Cherie Dawn Seymour.
Seymour is here, President Main Judge. Come on up, ma'am. She's approaching.
Good afternoon, Ms. Seymour.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, you're facing count 1, possession of cocaine, count 2, possession of oxycodone, and not for magistrate on count 2, improper stop or stand. As to count 1, the court finds probable cause. Count 2, the court does not find probable cause. There are 2 co-defendants in this case on 1, and I believe I have the correct one. Ms. Seymour was the one the report said had
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
admitted to the cocaine. So no probable cause on count 2, and the bond of $1,000 on count 1.
And I'm not going to request any time on the oxycodone.
Thank you.
And Judge, that's what we were talking about. We anticipated that no probable cause was going to be found on count 2. Having said that, Judge, she is 56 years old, been here her whole life. She's not working. She lives in Dania Beach with her husband, and her husband is a retired or a veteran who's on disability, and his disability is basically supports their household. They've been residing in the same place for 5 years. Their monthly rent is about $950. Now, she did advise me she had priors, but it's a little bit dated. So she's asking the court on this nonviolent offense to consider releasing her on pretrial release.
The court will grant the pretrial release, standard pretrial release supervision.
Thank you, Judge. Let me give her a map. Ma'am, here's the location. As soon as you get her, will be closed today. You have to report tomorrow. Don't report. There's a warrant issued for your arrest. Okay? Follow that.
That's correct. Yes. Casey Lee Del Greco.
And that's me.
Yep.
I was in the car with Mrs. Seymour. But she had the...
where she's at North Broward?
I'm at North Broward,
Good
yes.
afternoon, Ms. Del Greco.
Good morning.
Do not talk about your case. Today's not your trial, okay? You're before the court today for count one, possession of oxycodone, count two,
Correct.
possession of cocaine, and the improper
No.
stop or stand.
Ma'am,
Don't say anything, okay?
All
The court finds probable cause on count one, the possession of oxycodone. No probable cause on count two.
Okay.
And the court, does the defense wish to be heard as to her bond?
Is it 1,000, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Can someone post $100 to a bondsman, ma'am?
I have a surgery tomorrow morning. I
Ma'am,
have
it's very
to,
simple. Ma'am, it's very simple. Can someone post $100 to a bondsman for you?
I don't have anybody to post $100
So
for
would
the
you like
bonds,
to-
and I have surgery tomorrow
Ma'am,
for the
ma'am.
for that appointment.
Ma'am, would you like to be on pretrial release and call in twice a week, if that's possible?
Yes, please.
Okay, do you have a current job right now?
I don't have a job. I do have a stable. I just went to Workforce One on Monday, to try to get work, and then my tooth had broke, and that's
Ma'am,
why I
ma'am,
have surgery.
you're oversharing,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Doesn't Miss,
I'm not sure how this works. I'm
Ms. Del
sorry.
Greco, please be quiet for a moment, okay? State, does Ms. Del Greco have any, priors?
She does, theft 2016, prostitution 2014, prostitution 2013, cannabis 2013, prostitution 2012, grand theft 2012, theft 2012.
But I've been doing good and getting my teeth right and getting my life right and getting back to
Okay,
nursing.
Ms. Del Greco, you'll be able to speak with your attorney. The court will ROR you on, count one. No,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, that's gonna be a standard pretrial
Okay.
supervision on count one.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and no PC on two.
You know what? Too. Thank you.
Well, Miss,
bad.
hold on just a moment. Well, the other lady's gone, so I'm not gonna go back on that, but Ms. Del Greco, there will be random testing,
Judge,
okay?
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Judge, I have objection from pretrial asking for conditions when they're not a party to this.
Noted. Julio Escobar.
Judge bonded.
Judge, would you consider for the last one, Bark, with follow-up treatment rather than her having to pay $25 every time she goes to a site?
Are you you're gonna call her to get her that information?
I don't know, you just added a condition at the very last minute on the request of pretrial, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
Okay, Mr. Sanders. Keith,
Okay.
Brian
Yes,
Roker.
I would like her to be back
That,
on the record since you add conditions out of nowhere. Yes, I would like
Mr.
that.
Sanders, it is denied.
Okay, well,
Keith,
I'm gonna ask
Brian
for your
Roker.
request. You can't just add
Keith-
conditions out of thin air.
Keith Brian Roker.
Bonded.
Justin Lamar Swain.
No fraud, Your Honor. He's a medical reset.
Okay. Adam Ryan Lanham.
Senior President and Judge approaching. Come on up, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lanham.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you are before the court today with robbery, no firearm or weapon.
Yes.
The court does find probable cause. Your bond, sir, is $5,000.
Judge, I'm going to be asked to be heard regarding Mr. Lanham. I spoke to him regarding the bond that's currently set $5,000, but unfortunately he can't afford it. He is on disability. He gets approximately $780 per month. He lives in Pompano Beach with his friend, and his friend basically allows him to stay there, and she's also on disability, and she doesn't have the financial resources to post his monetary bond out. Mr. Lanham does have priors, however, from what he advised me, it's been a couple years, and he advised me he has no failure to appears, most importantly. So, Judge, we're going to be asking if the state can verify all that, if the court would consider releasing Mr. Lanham on pretrial release.
First of all, Your Honor, the state would be opposed to straight ROR to pretrial on a strong arm robbery, second-degree felony involving allegations of violence. I'm pulling his record right now.
Mr. Romero, the court's going to deny the bond reduction based on the safety of the community. Thank you. Jonathan Triana, I'll be with you in a moment, Mr. McLaurin. This is the last one.
Mr. Triana bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Triana bonded. Then we'll go to the resets from this morning.
Judge, I was just going to point out that it looks as if you, I have a page here. I'm not sure if the page was skipped. That's all I was bringing to the court's attention. I know you don't have pages, Judge, in front of you.
Right.
But it begins with Stephen Boss, and then it goes to a Christopher Pawlowski.
I have already handled Mr. Pawlowski because they asked me to handle that out of turn because he had a medical issue. But Stephen Boss,
He's in the main jail, Judge.
those are from this morning, so those are the ones I'm going to be calling now.
Okay.
Okay. Howard Wimbs, WIMBS.
What's prior, Your Honor? Hello.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again, Mr. Wimbs. You were here this morning, but your attorney was not here, so your attorney's here at this time. You're before the court for 2 misdemeanor capious matters. And the court did find probable cause. Mr. McLaurin?
Judge, I just want to inform the court that after I looked at Mr. Wims's case, this is actually out of Pompano Beach. It's not out of Fort Lauderdale. I don't represent folks out of Pompano Beach. I could stand in if the court wants me to as a friend of the court, but that's really going to be up to Mr. Wims.
Okay, can I get an RR on these cases?
Well, that was what Mr. Wims was asking for this morning.
He's entitled to representation, Judge, and there's no one here to represent him.
Right.
So
well, I reset this from this morning.
Yes. I apologize, Judge. I sent you the wrong information.
So, Mr. Wims, what do you want to do with your case? Because
I want an RR.
he was strenuous this morning.
The reason why they didn't come to court, they sent the court.
Wait, Mr. Wims. Wait, Mr. Wims.
It's not a...
Mr. Wims, do you have a valid mail-in address?
960 Sultan Avenue. That's my mailing address.
What is it? 960 Sultan Avenue?
960 Sultan Avenue.
In Opelika?
Opelika, 33054.
054?
Yeah.
Okay, they have it as 055 here.
Well, on one of the cases, we have a 28205 Southwest 124th.
Somebody gave them the wrong address. I didn't write that address down.
Homestead, Florida. So
that's the wrong address.
So that's a totally different address.
I do see the 960 Sultan Avenue, Judge, on the Pembroke Pines Police Department arrest form. I do see that address.
So it seems like the notice was sent to this Homestead, Florida. So the correct address is 960 Sultan Avenue, Opelika.
Yeah.
33055.
He said 54.
54.
So it looks like the notice was, I don't know where this homestead address comes from. So, Mr. Wims, the court will ROR you on both counts at this time.
All right, thank you.
Now, you've got to make sure that that is your correct address, the Sultan Avenue. So
Yes,
that
correct.
when the clerk sends the notice, you'll receive it, because if you fail to show again, if they send the notice to that address.
But they sent it to the wrong address.
Right.
So it ain't, again, it's not.
Hold on, don't go anywhere. Yes, Madam Clerk?
He has a date of February 11th in Judge Leavis' courtroom.
Well, will he get February 11th? Well, that's enough time for him to get the notice. So February 11th, you have a court date
Okay.
in front of Judge Levy?
Yes.
Okay? All right, good luck, Mr. Wims.
All right, thank you.
All right, Stephen Boss.
Yes, he's in the main jail, Judge, and he is charged with the City of Fort Lauderdale Municipal Ordinance for sleeping on the beach. And I've spoken to Mr. Boss, and he would like to resolve this matter if he could, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Boss, the court does find probable cause, and, what were you looking for, Mr. McLawrence?
Judge, the court could adjudicate time served. The court could withhold and take judicial notice of the time that Mr. Boss has served as well. Judge.
Sure. Mr. Boss?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, your attorney tells me that you wish to resolve your case today. Is that correct?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay, Mr. Boss, if you want to resolve your case, the court will offer you a withhold and take a judicial notice of the time served. Is that what you want to do?
I'm sorry, yes, please.
Okay. So withhold and time served, judicial notice of time served. Court cost is
$78.
I'll give you 6 months to pay your court costs, Mr. Boss.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, take care.
Take care, Mr. Boss.
Carly Davis? Carly?
Your Honor.
Judge, I also need to inform the court that after I looked at this one is also out of the city of Pompano Beach. But the docket that you received said Oakland Park, and I do represent Oakland Park, but I don't represent Pompano Beach, Judge.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Davis.
How you doing, ma'am?
Mr. Davis, you're before the court today for misdemeanor capias.
I don't know what happened. I like to do, I had a woman right over this week. Then she what for? Well, I'm a black guy, but a white guy, black. I don't know what it's for.
It's for an open container alcohol consumption, Mr. Davis.
I don't know. I remember nothing like that. I went down to court and did people before, but I don't know when. Except I think happened the same thing. I got in the court. The jury pulled out of court so I can go home. So I didn't show up.
Does is the deputy there at North Broward?
Yes, Your Honor.
This report indicates that he's hard of hearing and deaf.
I don't know.
The unit that he was hard of hearing.
I'm sorry?
The unit advised me that he was hard of hearing, but not that he was deaf.
Right. I guess it has to be one or the other, because the report says hard of hearing. Mr. Davis, do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I didn't know what you said, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Davis, if you wish to resolve your case today, the court will sentence you to adjudication and time served. Do you wish to do that?
Go home. I'm gonna get myself back together.
Yes,
I don't know what the fuck, but anyway, I gotta go home. Make sure I be there next week to pay the rent.
Right, so I'd sentence you today, and yes, you are correct, you would go home,
Okay.
okay?
Alright.
So the court sentences Mr. Davis to adjudication and time served. Good luck, Mr. Davis.
Judge, there's one other matter that I have on the second look docket. There's a Joseph Reyes. And Judge, I've represented Mr. Reyes in the past. And he just bonded out of,
Mr. McLawrence, do me a favor,
Yes,
please,
Judge.
one moment. Just let me finish, I have two more.
Okay, sure.
So I'll just get that done, okay? Augustus Kenneth, Verdi,
North Brad, Your Honor.
and I'm assuming you don't represent Mr. Verdi, Mr. McLawrence? It's Hollywood?
There's nothing we can do about it for whatever the counts are. N-O, no show. There's nothing we can do about it for whatever the counts are. N-O, no show, no.
All right, Mr. Verdi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, and so today you're before the court, Mr. Verdi, for 4 counts of misdemeanor capias.
There's nothing I can do about it for whatever the counts are. N-O, no show. N-O, no fool. Talk to the real God beam. Me's not the real God beam. Me play no game, no joke.
Do we,
Real God beam's not gonna know until after the world's gone. That's what the problem is. He's gonna do that anyway.
how are we gonna get Mr. Verdi to?
That's what it is now, right there, now, that wooden desk right there.
Well, they're all city ordinance cases, yes.
Just as
So
a
is
friend
there
of the
one?
court,
Real God knows what
I
he
know at
knows
least on
now,
one of
he's
these
not gonna
cases,
know it
he's
until
already
after he
been.
knows it. The real God being
Sometimes
world's
the
still
judge will
bad,
make
it's not gone yet.
references, the judge
The
will
world are not
He's
gone.
already been
That's what it
scheduled for
is.
tomorrow morning in MI.
Nothing we can do
For Judge
about
Lerner
it.
tomorrow morning.
Okay, then do I need to sign an order to send him to Judge Lerner Wren on these cases? Or is he?
Straight history facts, the real God being knows what it is.
I'll transfer this to,
Bible city
is that
game.
MH?
MI.
MI? I'll transfer this to the MI
That there,
division.
that's the end of the Bible city game, that there. Now,
Deputy?
total package.
All right, with, Mr. Verdi, we're gonna transfer his case to, Division MI, okay? All right, thank you, good luck, Mr. Verdi.
And just to let you know, Judge, all 3 cases have been set for the status tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And then, Braylon Fleming, whose family was here this morning.
He's here on Main, Judge. Come on up, sir.
Oh, did I get new, did I get the new paperwork? Because that's what I was supposed to get. Is there new paperwork for Braylon Fleming? Nope, I got the same one that I had this morning. Mr. Fleming has several counts as we discussed this morning, and that he has also several holds. There was only one count, the failure to count 7, that I needed to post a bond, set a bond. And in consideration, you know, I don't remember what it is that what changes needed to be made on the other ones. You're printing a new copy? All right. Okay. All right. So on the second look docket, Mr. McLawrence, which case is yours now?
Joseph Reyes, he was here on felony probation, and he had a municipal ordinance that was attached. He was reinstated on that probation, and he bonded out, so I just wanted to inform the court. I have represented him before, Judge. I was asking the court to appoint me to represent him in the municipal ordinance matter.
I don't even see Joseph Reyes.
I had him on, I received the email yesterday about him being placed on the second look doc.
Right, no, I do have it from the email from the public defender's office, but it's not on my docket.
Joseph Reyes,
Right.
R-E-Y-E-S.
Right, he's not on the misdemeanor,
Because
it's not on the docket.
he's out of custody.
Oh, okay,
He had his felony probation reinstated and he posted bond on the municipal ordinance.
all right. And I've signed the orders, Mr.
Thank you,
McLawrence.
Judge.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, what's this?
That's the transfer to Judge Lennon.
Okay, okay. All right. Then, the next one is, Paul Burgess. That's on the misdemeanor docket.
We're waiting on. Let me have a seat.
Good afternoon, Paul Burgess here.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Burgess.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Burgess is here on the second look docket.
Yes, it's a municipal ordinance.
Mr. Burgess was arrested on, that was yesterday?
It's a Hallandale case.
Was there a bond set on Mr. Burgess?
No, it was originally, it looks like it was originally part of a, well, maybe there is, let me check. This came in with a felony case. Yeah, there was never, one moment, Judge. There was never a bond attached to this. I imagine the reason he's before the court is he's state sentenced on the felony that he was originally arrested on.
Okay.
January of 2018.
Okay.
So now the only thing, I guess they put him on the docket to see if this could get taken care of and he could start his state sentence.
All right. Mr. Burgess, do you understand what's going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you were state sentenced on your felony case?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have this municipal ordinance matter that's just holding you up. So
yes, ma'am.
Do you want to resolve the case today?
Absolutely.
Then the court would sentence you to adjudication and time served, and that would resolve that matter.
I appreciate that very much.
All right. All right. Good luck, Mr. Burgess.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Yes. All right, Chad Siskind.
Conti, Your Honor. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Siskind.
Good afternoon.
You're before the court still on this petty theft. They've brought you back for a second look. It looks like am I correct that his bond is $25?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a second look on a theft. It's an alleged theft at a Target. Allegedly just under $240 worth of property was taken. If he wishes to resolve it, the offer from the state would be a withholding court cost. No return to this particular Target in Deerfield Beach on South Federal Highway.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to take the offer of a withhold, understanding that if you get multiple petty thefts, you're going to maybe have a felony next time?
Yes, sir. I do.
No contest? Is that what you wish
Yes,
to plead?
sir.
You wish to plead
Yes,
no
sir.
contest, right?
Okay, Mr. Siskind, the offer is withholding court costs and no return to Target. You've indicated that you've entered a no contest plea and the court will accept that and sentence you to withhold court costs. The court will give you 6 months to pay and no return to Target at 1200 South Federal Highway in Deerfield Beach. Do you understand,
Yes,
sir?
ma'am.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Adam Crapo.
Conti again, Your Honor. Adam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Judge.
They've brought you back, Mr. Crapo, for us to look at your case again. It looks like Mr. Crapo also had a $25 bond.
Yes, Your Honor, this is a second look on a trespass at a food town. If he wishes to resolve the matter, the state's offer would be an adjudication, time served, no return to the food town on Sterling Road in Davie.
Sir, do you wish to resolve this case and close it out, understanding that if you get another one, it could be a felony?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand that if you want me to advocate for you to be released and come back to fight the charge, that I can do that, but you'd rather
Yes,
close the case out today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No contest is what you wish to plead?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Crapo, based on your representation to the court that you want to resolve the case and entering your no contest plea, the court accepts it, sentences you to adjudication and time served. Mr. Crapo, you cannot return to Food Town at 6431 Sterling Road in Davie. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then good luck.
I think
Thank
I asked
you, Your
already.
Honor.
You're a U.S. citizen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Understand that it'll deport you if not, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Joel Bakhtari.
Mr. Bakhtari is here present, Judge of Maine.
And, Your Honor, this is a second look on a possession of cannabis, disorderly conduct, and resisting without violence. My understanding is Mr. Bakhtari also has an out-of-state hold. If he wishes to resolve these charges, the offer would be a withholding court cost on count 1, adjudication time served on counts 2 and 3.
Judge, at this time, Mr. Bakhtari is not accepting the state's offer, so at this time, nothing to add by the defense.
Okay, thank you. Then, no changes, the court, I think his bond was $100.
What's his name again?
Joel Bakhtari.
Mr. Bakhtari, you realize that with an out-of-state hold, no matter what, you're going to be stuck in there even if you post bond, right? Until this case is resolved. Okay, just so you understand that.
Okay, Sarah Hill?
Hold on,
Good afternoon, Ms. Hill.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Ms. Hill, you're brought before the court for a second look on this petty theft charge.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the allegations are it's a petty theft from Publix in Miramar, where just under $86 worth of property was taken. It mentions in the PC that there is a prior history of theft. That being said, if Ms. Hill wishes to resolve the case, the offer being adjudication, time served, no return to the public's on Miramar Parkway in Miramar.
Yes, would you like to accept the state's offer of credit time served?
Yes, sir.
Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
You understand if you get another one, you probably, even if it's just a low amount, it could be a felony. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you'd be deported, correct?
Yes, I'm a United States citizen.
Okay, and you understand that if you want me to advocate for you to be released and come back to fight the charges another time, we can do that. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, but you still want to take the offer of the state adjudication, credit time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you please no contest?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ms. Hill,
Yes, sir.
is that what you want to do? You want to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've entered a no contest plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court sentences you to an adjudication and time served, and I will give you 6 months to pay your court costs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good luck, Ms. Hill.
You too.
We'll return to that public.
Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill, I know you're happy, but I also need to let you know what kind of, it just says business.
Oh, it's a Publix, Your Honor.
Ms. Hill, you cannot return to that Publix,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Edmondo Gonzalez.
Conti, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe there's.
Judge, I have a Spanish interpreter coming in about 13 minutes, I think.
Okay, then we'll wait for the Spanish interpreter on Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
How about Joseph Gabriel Reyes? Was that the one we,
That's the gentleman that Mr. McLaurin was discussing. I believe he's out of custody.
okay, that's right. Thank you. We have another docket.
Yeah, felony.
We have two Spanish linguistics, Mr. Gonzalez and Sierra. So we're also waiting for them for the
Sarah
Spanish.
needs a Spanish interpreter.
Correct.
So we have David Kearse.
Mr. Kearse is here, present, Judge at Maine. He's approaching. Come on up, sir.
And, Your Honor, this is a motion to release. The state has filed information. The charge was filed as presented.
Judge, he currently has a bond of $2,500. My understanding is the date of incident on this case was May 16th of last year. In speaking to him, he lives with his mom. His mom works in housekeeping. He works occasionally with his cousin doing landscaping. Right now, he's been in custody since the 18th. His family is not in a position to post his monetary bond. He's asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
And Your Honor, we're here on a motion filed by the public defender. It's not a bond modification motion. It's just a motion to see if the state filed an information, and we have. I imagine that the bond was kept at $2,500 based partially on his criminal history. 2012, delivery of cocaine, violation of probation, 3-year state prison. 2000, burglary of a dwelling with a VOP, 10-year state prison as a habitual offender. 97, goes on from there, Your Honor. But, I mean, to change what the hearing is really about, I don't believe would be appropriate at this time.
Judge, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this gentleman's been in custody since the 18th, and I don't think the public defender's office put this case on the docket. I believe it was put on in the normal course, but I can be wrong. How long has he been in custody?
I don't know who put it on the docket.
Let me check. I thought based on, one moment. Because of where it was put on the docket, I thought it was up for a motion release on a 30-day notice, and those are always the first cases physically on the docket. Your Honor, it looks like it's a second look, actually. It was an arrest under non-custody information. So that would explain why it was filed, obviously.
So Judge, I'm still standing by my original request. He is on the second look docket. Right now, his family, like I said, cannot post the $2,500 bond, and we're asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
At this time, the court is going to deny that. You certainly have the option to file a motion to reduce the bond in his division. Thank you. James Chambers.
Yeah.
Mr. Chambers is
Your Honor.
Conti.
Yeah, this is actually it's a little unusual situation. I'm glad Mr. Saunders is here today. We actually already had a motion to release for Mr. Chambers. If you look at the docket, you see grand theft number 3. He was supposed to have been ROR'd at his motion to release on that count. We did file an information on the burglary.
On a different case number.
Yeah. So all I'm asking the court to do today, and I believe Mr. Sanders agrees, he should be ROR in order. He should have an order RORing him on the grand theft charge.
The grand theft count.
And we'll grant that. So Mr. Chambers.
Yes, ma'am.
There are several charges, but there is one count of a grand theft that you should have been ROR'd on. I'm going to sign that order today. So that's okay?
I'm still locked in here, though.
I know. But I can only deal with what's before me today. Thank you.
That's cool. All right.
Then
I just happened to get that update today, so I figured.
This gentleman needs a Spanish interpreter, so we can go to Faustino Gonzalez.
Conti, Your Honor, he also needs a Spanish interpreter. I have 3 guys that
Okay.
for Spanish.
All right. So Mr. Sierra and Mr. Gonzalez needs a Spanish interpreter?
Correct. Two Gonzalez's.
Two
Gonzalez's, yes.
All right. We're waiting for the Spanish interpreter as soon as they get here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I don't have too many to go, so I'm not going to... Keone Kimball?
Hold on, Your Honor.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Ms. Kimball.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, this is a motion to release on an aggravated battery. The state has filed an information, and just checking to see what charge was filed. It was filed as an aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, as presented.
Okay. Ms. Kimball, you were brought to court today for a second look on your case. No, it's a 30-day ROR. And the state has informed me that the charge has been filed. I guess they will have to bring you back also for this, or has she been in her division?
As presented. She'll get an arraignment date now.
Okay. So you should be going to court soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you know how soon?
Generally speaking, about within a week, they give a court date. When, you know.
Yeah, I don't have a definite date.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
So in a week.
Yeah. Norris Jackson.
North Broward, Judge.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson.
And Your Honor, this is also a motion to release.
Yes.
The state has now filed an information. He is entitled to release at this time. He does have, on a separate case, $1,000 bond on a court order. But on these charges, he's entitled to an ROR.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you're before the court today for a motion for ROR. The state still has not filed a charge. That's the only thing that's before me today. So I will grant the ROR on that charge. Okay? Thank you.
Deputy, can I speak with Mr. Jackson on the side?
Yes.
Janine Courtwright.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Courtwright.
Hey, Your Honor, how are you?
I'm good. You're here today. There's a 30-day motion that's been filed on your case. She was arrested back in November 2018.
That was when she was originally arrested. There was on out-of-county charges. These charges got placed on her December 21st. We're still at the 33rd day. We did file all 3 counts as presented, strong arm robbery, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Courtwright, you were here for a 30-day consideration for release, but the state has filed the charges. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Luis Herrera.
Mr. Herrera is here present at main, Judge.
Okay.
Come on.
Was there someone from Mr. Herrera did you want to be heard? Mr. Herrera is here today on a motion for ROR as well.
This is a second look, Your Honor.
It's a second look. It says
I know, they all say.
Motion for ROR.
They all do.
Okay. Mr. Herrera was arrested on January 18th. He does have a bond of $1,000.
That is correct, Judge. And speaking of Mr. Herrera, as you can see, he's still been in custody since the 18th. No one can afford to post his monetary bond. He works when he can doing pressure cleaning, Judge. He has friends that live in their community. He appreciates his girlfriend being here for support. Judge, we're asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Herrera on pretrial release.
Ma'am, did you wish to be heard? I don't know what you have to offer.
She just asked me to come up here, so if I don't know, the bailiff.
Could state your name for the record, please?
Jennifer Brown.
Ms. Brown, how are you related to Mr. Herrera?
He is my significant other of 5 years boyfriend.
Okay. Are you going to help him to post his bond?
I'm trying.
The bond is $1,000.
So it would be $100 with a bond, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying.
I don't have an
That's
objection.
what Mr. Herrera advised me, that his girlfriend was working and trying, but he's still in. So obviously they're having financial difficulty. My understanding for Herrera's.
That's okay. Thank you. At this time, the court will release Mr. Herrera to pretrial services. The court is going to ask for random testing.
And you know, just for the record, no objection from the state.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Would you be inclined to offer, instead of random testing, bark evaluation with follow-up rather than having to pay $25 each time he goes to random testing if they can't even come up with 100?
I'll allow the bark testing. Thank you.
In lieu of the random
In lieu of the random testing.
Thank you.
Christopher Russian.
Mr. Russian is here present, Judge Amin. Come on up, sir.
Okay. I don't. Is this a second look or is it a ROR? Because I don't have the paperwork.
Just so you know,
No.
regarding Mr. Russian, he did send pretrial and contact. He told us that he has a $1,000 bond, which we know he cannot afford it. He says he has no friends or family that reside in Florida. He's only here desperately trying to get back to his job. That was what we got from him.
Okay. When was he arrested? What is the arrest date on this?
January 19th. It's basically the allegation he was in possession of crack pipe.
Okay, so at this time, the court will release Mr. Russian on pretrial release supervision with random testing.
I'm asking if you can do a bark evaluation with follow-up rather than $25 random testing.
Certainly, the court will grant that in lieu of the Random testing.
They had to get a bark evaluation, sir. Take a map to check in the pretrial by tomorrow.
All right, we're waiting on a Spanish interpreter.
We have, I believe that's Braden Buford sitting there in Maine, Your Honor, for a second look.
Which docket was he on?
Felony second
He was on the felony docket?
Yes.
Braden Buford?
He's here, Your Honor.
Mr. Buford was arrested on January 10th. Mr. Buford has the bond of $1,000.
Correct. Judge, my understanding is he lives with his mom in Coral Springs. His mom is on disability and can't afford to post a monetary bond. He works when he can with his grandfather delivering sandwiches, but his grandfather cannot afford to post his bond as well. He's been here in Broward County residing his whole entire life. He's 24 years old. So, Judge, we're asking for the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
And, Your Honor, I would oppose in this situation. It would appear that at some point within, I would say, the last year and a half, he got out of state prison 2 separate 2014 felonies for dealing in stolen property and false ownership info on a pawn item. He violated his probation on each case February 24th of 2017, sentenced to 25.5 months in Florida State Prison. And now back before the court on another theft-related matter where,
And Judge, one issue, he doesn't deny anything what the state said, but he did want to let the know that my understanding is one of the conditions on his probation was restitution, and he managed to work and pay off the restitution, but he violated his probation in other ways, Judge. He's saying that right now he cannot afford to post a bond, so he's asking to take a chance releasing him on pretrial release.
I was just going to make, while you're being asked to take a chance, I would know once he was apprehended, he also gave a fake name.
And that's the charge here before you as far as one of them, the false information given to Leo, Judge. And one other thing, when I reviewed the PC affidavit, I believe, I know initially Mr. Buford gave false information, but however, I believe then he gave a post-Miranda statement in which I believe one of the reasons why he offered law enforcement what he did was because of a substance abuse problem. So what I would ask is to place Mr. Buford on pretrial release and also with a bark eval and follow-up. So that would address that issue, and he could potentially work on his substance abuse issue with that condition in place.
Your Honor, again, I would.
Okay, based on my review of the affidavit that was presented, this is a second look. The court's not going to make any changes at this time. Thank you. All right, so two Gonzaleses need Spanish interpreter and Sierra.
I can tell you right now, Sierra, the two motions to release on the felony were both filed.
Judge, one quick question. Do we still have Mr. Braylon Fleming on recall?
Yes, did I get that paperwork?
I don't think.
Somebody was printing me something. Oh, my arms are short.
No, her arms are really short.
And Mundo.
All right, I thought I was getting okay. So it is true still though that on Mr. Braylon Fleming that the only one for a bond consideration is count 7.
Yeah, basically what my understanding is they took out the first degree felony, replaced it with a citation, and because of that, a $100 bond got placed on one of the leaving the scenes pursuant to the bond schedule.
So, all right, so now that sounds like something different from this morning. Is there a bond on this failure to stop remain accident involving death?
That should have been removed, is my understanding.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing now is that they put $100.
Yes, because the felony was removed, a $100 bond gets placed on one of the misdemeanors.
Okay. So then, do I know which one?
It should, yeah, on count 2, the first leaving the scene.
So there's $100 on count 2?
Yeah.
And Judge, considering he has no bond
I'm sorry?
holds, and from the defense.
Madam Clerk, what are you saying? They're leaving the scene, yes. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Romero.
No, considering he has no bond holds, nothing to add in reference to the $100 bond on count 2.
Okay. We just wanted to, it seems like it took a little bit of time, but we've got to where we are.
We got that.
So count 7 is gone, and there's a $100 bond on the count 2, the leaving the scene of an accident, and we'll leave it, everything else remains the same. Okay? Thank you.
So the court interpreter's on his way.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, just to let you know when we get to them, on Sierra and Faustino Gonzalez, they were both filed on.
They're both filed.
Spanish interpreter.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. How can I help?
I have 3 clients here for you. If you would, we'll just swear you in. Please state your name for the record.
Frances Hernandez.
Do you swear or affirm to translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish?
I do.
Thank you. All right. Are they all at North Broward?
They're all at Conti, Your Honor.
They're all at Conti. So Marco Antonio Sierra?
Sierra.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sierra.
Buenas tardes, señor Sierra.
Buenas tardes, sí.
Good afternoon, yes.
Mr. Sierra, is he for a second look or a motion for ROR?
That's a motion for release, and the state has filed information.
Okay. So, Mr. Sierra, they brought you to court today to determine if we should release you if the charges has not been filed.
Pues, señor Sierra, lo han traído aquí ante el tribunal para decidir si han de liberarlo, soltarlo, si no se han presentado los cargos.
However, Mr. Sierra, the state has filed the charges in your case.
No obstante, señor Sierra, el Estado, la Fiscalía, sí ha presentado cargos en su contra.
So at this time, the court will take no action on the motion.
Por lo tanto, en estos momentos, el tribunal no tomará acción sobre esta moción.
Good luck, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
You'll be going to your regular division judge to deal
Usted
with it.
será atendido por el juez que le corresponde.
Okay?
Fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
No hay de qué.
Then the next person is Faustino Gonzalez. Good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor González.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Gonzalez, you're before the court.
Señor González, está usted ante el tribunal.
Okay, gracias.
You were before the court for motion for ROR. That's a release on your own recognizance.
Y se encuentra ante el tribunal por una moción, por una petición para que lo suelten bajo su propio reconocimiento.
But on this matter, the information has been filed on your case.
Sin embargo, en este asunto, una querella de la policía ha sido presentada en su contra.
So you will be going to your regular division judge to handle your case.
Por lo tanto, el juez que le corresponde le atenderá.
Okay? Good luck, Mr. Gonzalez.
Estamos. Buena suerte, señor González.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Edmundo Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor González.
I believe the family wishes to post the monetary bond and leave it in place, Judge.
Okay.
They're here.
Mr. Gonzalez, as you can see, your family is here.
Señor González, como puede ver, aquí tiene un familiar.
Sí, señor.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've been advised that your family will post your bond.
Y se me ha indicado que la familia posteará la fianza.
Gracias.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there's nothing else for the court to do today.
Por lo tanto, no hay más nada que le toque al tribunal hacer en el día de hoy.
Good luck, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buena suerte, señor González.
Gracias. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Welcome, Sanchez.
Judge Powell, anything else?
I don't have, those were the last three on the docket, so thank you very much. It was good to see you.
Same here.
A-U-S-T-Y-N. Yes, ma'am.
They said it was medical research.
All right, I believe we're at the end of our docket. Thank you, everyone.